Welcome to the Mental Militia, uniting minds and freeing souls from the bonds of mental slavery and ruling class manipulation.
Okay, and welcome back to the 2.0 course, free contract killer course, video number 7. We're going to go over the passport in this particular video in great detail. So let's get this party started. So the first thing we're going to go over with this is the DS11 passport application form, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to cover this in great detail. You can see literally right here, right at the top of the DS11, U.S. citizens or non-citizen nationals, right? And we're covering this down. We're going down, and we're talking about the Social Security number, right? So I've heard a lot of people tell me that they've tried to not put the Social Security number and they can't, right? So we have here Social Security number. I already pulled up these 27. They're talking about this one here. Revocation or denial of passport in case of certain unpaid taxes. Authority to deny or revoke passport. They say here does not include the Social Security number. Social Security account number. Includes an incorrect or invalid Social Security account number. And then they also reference this one here. Information regarding resident status applies to be lawfully accorded the privilege of residing permanently in the United States, which is hilarious. That's not a privilege. That's a prison sentence. So that's pretty funny, the way that they put that in there. The way they put that in there is it's based off the 14th Amendment. Again, privileges and immunities, right? The only right that a released slave from the Civil War era has is to reside in the District of Columbia. That's where the wording of this comes from, right? So the problem is that if you put your name in not all caps, they're just going to capitalize it. There's no, I've never seen anyone get around this particular point, right? Now, if you start to get real cantankerous, they'll start sending you letters and it'll say like, oh, you're a 14th Amendment citizen. And they'll talk about the 14th Amendment a lot in the letters, right? Basically, to keep it simple, if you want to move forward on this without using a Social Security number, you're going to need to sue the Department of State. Like, I'm actually dead serious. Like, I don't see any way around it as of right now. Besides that's the only thing I see possible, which I'm going to show you later in the course how to sue anybody you want, including the Department of State. Eventually, obviously, after I release 2.0, that's kind of the direction things are headed is we're going to be suing the Department of State and just beat the shit out of them until they stop with this whole 14th Amendment silliness. So 14th Amendment doesn't exist. So they're playing these stupid games with something that doesn't exist. So that needs to end really badly. Okay. So if we go on to, let's see here, types of passports, you'll see here on the DS11 form, they're talking about notice to applicants for no fee regular service official or diplomatic passports. You may use this application if you meet all provisions listed. However, you must consult your sponsoring agency for instructions on proper routing procedures before forwarding this application. Your completed passport will be released to your sponsoring agency. I've never seen any laws or anything anywhere stating that you need a sponsor and all this fucking bullshit. That's the way they operate. Again, if you want a no fee regular service official or diplomatic passport, fill out the stuff, send it in. If they don't give it to you, just sue them. I'm not kidding, bro. Just sue them. I mean, that's kind of where things are at with almost everything that I know personally. Okay. Just to be clear, we have the 22 CFR 51.3. We have the different types of passports. We have regular. It's issued to a national. Service. Official. And then we have a diplomatic down here. And then the card, obviously, card here, right? So that describes the breakdown of how all that works. Now, I want to let you know real quick, there's a guy, his name is Copper Moonshine Stills. His name is Colonel Wilson. And coppermoonshinestills.com, he has a little, if you click on the breakdown here, he's got a different website too. He's got multiple pages now. He's got state citizens protected. You know, I don't know what this is. This sounds pretty cool. And then he's got state citizen passport / beat the law or beat the whatever, right? This is where this guy's been doing this shit forever, right? This guy's been around forever. This guy's got all the info. So you scroll all the way down and we've got tons of great info here, right? And if you can't find this page for some reason or if it gets taken down, remember there's the Wayback Machine. For those of you who have never heard of the Wayback Machine, you can go onto the Wayback Machine and you can find old websites and stuff that have either been lost or gone or deleted or whatever, right? We're going to be going over this stuff with him, right? And then the other guy that I learned a lot from, who's really, really helpful on all of this, just by the way, is blacksite32.com. James C. Lovett. This guy right here, the Bat Wolf. The Bat Wolf. Oh! Right, he's a good guy. He's one of my favorite guys, actually, right? You guys have probably noticed in my first course, those of you who have come to my second course here, I was mentioning people all the time, mentioning this guy and mentioning that guy. And as you've noticed in this course, I've mentioned almost no one. That's because I've either been fucked over or something has happened or I've been jerked around or somebody is... I've been very careful during this course to not mention anyone, and there's very few people I will be mentioning during this course because of all the experiences I've had over the couple of years. And I don't recommend almost anyone that I had recommended in the first course. James C. Lovett is one individual who has continued to impress me and continued to produce information on this material. He really cares. He is a constant source of information and material, and he's an excellent person to follow on the information. And the same holds true for Colonel Wilson, Copper Moonshine Stills. Hilarious guy. I hope to have him on my show here very soon. We're going to be doing a show very soon. So he says you have to add your social security number or they're just going to say fuck you, essentially. And I know for a lot of people watching this, they may be upset about that. And I wanted to address that. And I understand your frustration because social security number is only for the ens legis. For those of you who are out there who do not want to have their social security number listed on their passport and they're just totally putting their foot down and they're just like, fuck you, absolutely not. Just sue the Department of State. And please God, let me know where you're going to do it. Because I'm probably going to do it at some point. Not now, because they've been pretty good to me, but they haven't jerked me around. If they jerk me around, they're getting sued, right? So if anyone wants to sue, if anyone's real cantankerous and they're just not happy with the bullshit and they want to sue the Department of State, the 14th Amendment's bullshit, bro. It doesn't exist. Just pound the Department of State and get them to understand that. Do you realize if you sued the Department of State and you said the 14th Amendment doesn't exist and you won, do you realize that you would literally set case law precedent that would completely obliterate the federal U.S. citizenship category off the face of the earth? The federal U.S. citizenship category wouldn't even exist anymore. You would single-handedly fix this whole fucking country. So if there's people out there that want to fucking go that hard and go and sue the Department of State and go fucking absolutely ballistic, bro, hats off to you. I'm probably going to do it at some point myself. I haven't done it yet. Dude, they haven't fucked with me at all. They've given me everything I've asked for. You can't sue someone that doesn't fuck with you. If they do everything you ask and they give you everything with a smile, you can't sue them. So I see people getting fucked with by the Department of State, and I'm like, okay, sue them. If the Department of State fucked with me, I'd be suing them in a heartbeat, right? But they never fucked with me. They never did anything to me. They were like the greatest. They were super chill and like, yes, sir, on everything I asked them to do and everything I did. So you can't sue someone who's yes, sir. You can't do it. It doesn't work that way, right? So those of you getting jerked around, which I know there's more and more of that happening, if you just sue the Department of State, I mean, go for it, right? So let's keep going on this. So we have mailing address. You know, you should read all this, but we have mailing address. For line 1, enter P.O. box or whatever. If you don't live at the address listed, put the name of the person who lives at this address and mark it in care of, right? They're very clear. In care of means you don't live there. Fucking important, right? Because we don't want to establish residency, right? Because again, this particular form is really, really crazy. They don't fuck around. Like everything you put is going to be in the bullshit system, you know. Proof of U.S. citizenship. Claiming citizen through naturalization. You know, your evidence of admission to the United States for legal permanent residence. You know, you could do like your own custom certificate of naturalization. You could look up certificates of naturalization that are from the Department of State. You could even go onto my website. I'm just going to give you a whole bunch because we need to kind of bust up into the next level on this. We've been getting passports, and it's been a nice, smooth ride ever since the beginning. We need to start going to the next level on this. We need to start suing the Department of State. We need to start correcting the Department of State. We need to start going to the next level and correcting this. If you go on my State National Resources page and you scroll down to, there's going to be a section here, which I'm going to try to keep this up as long. This section is incredible old passports, passport applications, and passport information, right? So this is a whole bunch of crazy ass shit that I found on Wikimedia Commons. No idea what that is. Someone sent it to me and I was like, holy shit. It's a bunch of old ass passports and shit, right, bro? So you can click on these or download these or whatever, and you can see that most of them just contain some kind of affidavit stating naturalization or whatever, or, you know, it's very, very simple. It's like a one-page deal, right? And I'll show you what I think the duplicative effort of this is, or what I think this is in 2024, right? So you should scroll through these. You should look at all this. You should research all this. It took me like 9 hours to go through tremendous amounts of documents and information, and I was able to handpick 38 or 39 documents that I really thought were really useful, and seeing the history and the past involving the passport system and the passport information, right? So this is about 7 hours of work it took me to dig through all the bullshit to find these particular documents. So what took me 7-8 hours is going to take you about 5 fucking minutes. You should look through all these, download these, read them. They're actually quite fascinating, especially if you're interested in history. Okay.
In the wake of the unimaginable, in the shadow of uncertainty, in the face of fear, it's time to rediscover.
We can live, we can love, we can hope, we can rise, we can be more, be more.
Your hope.
We can dream, we can fly, we can change, we can ride, we can be more, be more.
Your purpose.
We can live, we can love, we can hope, we can rise, we can be more, be more.
Your passion. face. Nothing is stronger than the human spirit.
Oh, at the top of the passport, real quick, they're talking about the no-fee regular. We're going to talk about that in a second. It's a blue passport issued to people who are traveling at the government expense. You're probably not going to be qualified for the no-fee regular, so we're not going to get into that, but I just want to show you that. So you guys can do whatever you want. You guys can send in, if you were born outside of what is called the corporate United States, if you were born like I was, which is into the unincorporated Indiana territory, you can send in certificates of naturalization. You can be so creative. You can send in all sorts of crazy shit and say the Social Security number is not me, it's the ens legis. You can do all sorts of on the first course. I had everyone send in long form birth certificates, which is over here on the left-hand side, proof of U.S. citizenship, right? So if you send in a long form birth certificate, which I was talking about earlier in the course, you're going to get marked as a U.S. citizen because the birth certificate shows that your mother naturalized you by conferring the nationality of state of Indiana upon you after birth by any means whatsoever. This is like brand new information, bro. I don't know what's going to happen if you start sending in this stuff over here on the right-hand side of the page, right? Create your own certificate of naturalization. Claim citizenship or nationality through some other means. I don't know. I'm just telling you, I would like to see people start to kind of go in this right-hand direction. Sure, you can get long form birth certificates. I told you earlier in the course how to do that. You can go to the vital records of your state where you were born, or you can go to vitalcheck or whatever it is.com. But I'm telling you right now, I'll tell you two things. First off, if you want to buy these long form birth certificates, they take sometimes. It took me 4 or 5 months to get each set, so I bought a whole fuck ton. I got like 30 of them upstairs, 35 of them, right? I'm not fucking around, right? People ask me, how many do you need to buy? I don't fucking know. I don't care. I bought 35 of the goddamn things. I don't know. Whatever you want, right? If I go to court, I'm going to take one of them long form birth certificates in there and I'm going to say the defendant is here and I'm the agent on behalf of the defendant, right? So they're useful for that. I've heard some people discharging debts at them. I've never done that. I don't know much about that. I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, you can order 5 at a time. I ordered 30, 35. I would get 30, 35. I don't know what to tell you. Have I used hardly any of them? No. But I'm damn happy that I've got 35 of them sitting upstairs. I don't know what else to tell you. Just like I said before, I think on video 2 or 3, don't message me about birth certificates. I don't give a fuck. 20% of all the shit that I get sent is about birth certificates. I don't fucking care, bro. I don't fucking care, okay? If you want the easy-ish route or whatever, you get yourself a long form birth certificate and you send it in and you're going to get a citizenship passport. It's going to be the same shit as what we all have. Like mine, I send in a long form birth certificate. You're still going to get the 4 or 5 stars. You still get diplomatic immunity. I don't know how it works. But if you want to go to the next level, above anything any of us have ever done, and you want to be like, no, Brandon, I'm going all the way. I'm willing to be experimental. I want the maximum of everything. You're going to start looking at this right-hand column here. And I don't know much about it. And I'm living like a fat hog. I don't really have an interest in doing all this because I'm mainly in litigation and all this. But if you want to go fat hog, big boy style, and you want to get a fucking passport that doesn't even have your goddamn social security number attached to it or nothing, you want to go like to a whole new level that no one's ever gone, start fiddling with this right-hand side and start sending in all this stuff, right? Now, I'll tell you what, the worst thing that can happen is you pay $300 and they tell you to go fuck yourself. And then you go back in the next week, you fill out another application, you wait 3, 4, 5 weeks, they tell you to go fuck yourself. You go back in another week later, you fill out another DS-11, you pay the $300 and they tell you to go fuck yourself. That's the worst thing. As far as I know, I've never heard of anything in 2 years, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of examples. I've never heard of anything happening where it wasn't just fuck you, we're keeping your money, you fucking whatever, and that's it. They just say fuck you, denied, and they keep your money. Worst thing. So if you want to go down what pretty much everyone has done up to the point of this video being done, just attach a long form birth certificate in with the DS11. If you want to go full hoss, big hossy, if you want to go like full renegade, full vanguard, you're going to go into all this other shit, foreign birth certificates, create your own foreign birth certificate. I don't know. Write it in fucking French and send it in. Certificate of naturalization for your parents, make it up. I don't know. You know, all sorts of shit here, bro. All sorts of crazy shit. You can do whatever you want. As long as you're willing to sign the documents and submit everything in. You know, but if you want what pretty much everyone has done up to this point, you're going to do, you're going to send in a long form birth certificate, right? So, special issuance passport, if you apply for a no-fee, regular, service, official, or diplomatic passport as a designated acceptance facility, you must pay the execution fee, blah, blah, blah. I don't know about all that, bro. I've been reading a lot of shit. I don't know about all that. It goes over the difference between a card and a book, where you can go with the card versus where you can go with the book. You should read all this, bro. You should read all this. I didn't read all this before when I did mine, which is a big mistake. Big mistake. Just read all this, bro. You're already 1,000 points ahead of everybody else if you just read all that shit. All right, so here's the passport. Here's the DS11. Okay. So, I mean, it's going to cost you like $60 more, but you should do both. You want the card and the book. The card's dope, dude. I use it for cars. If I'm cruising around in a car, I use the passport real quick. 18 USC. I think I showed you this before, but you know, look, there's some things that I show you before, but dude, my head's spinning. I'm trying as hard as I can to show you guys all this stuff. It's so much. I'm sure you realize that. I'm trying so hard to just keep everything together. So I forgive me if I've already shown you this, but 18 U.S.C. 1545, whoever violates any safe conduct or passport duly obtained and issued under authority of the United States shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 10 years or both. People can't stop you with a passport, bro. Passport is like, yes, sir, salute, bro. Or you're going to fucking prison for 10 years. Passport's some real shit, bro. Driver's license is what makes you a slave. As far as I can tell, passport violates your rights. It violates rights of privacy and all these. Yes, it's true. Passport's not perfect. But I'll tell you right now, passport, I don't know what kind of damage a passport's going to do to you. I don't have a problem with a passport at all, to be honest with you. So, you know, whatever. Every once in a while I get someone to say, you don't need a passport. Why do you need a passport? Fine. Don't use it. If you don't have a passport, I don't know what you're going to do. You're going to be working under the table. You're not going to have any access to anything. You're not even going to have a bank account, which is fine. But if you want to be in the system and you still want to enjoy the system, all you need is a passport. You don't need anything else, bro. You don't need a goddamn thing, right? So both is nice. You got a passport book and a passport card. Best goddamn, I mean, in my opinion, passport book and card is the best goddamn $280 to $350 you'll ever spend in your entire motherfucking life. For right now, at least. They have to keep the United States in a perpetual state of war in order to have the passports even be legal. If there was no war for like a bunch of years, they couldn't even keep the passport system together. It wouldn't even, it's technically a violation of your rights, right? So, but I'm telling you, I've studied so much about this, and I just think the passport system is really not anything to be scared of, right? Joe. Now, this right here, guys, this is something I didn't address in the last course, right? So if we look down, let's look down for a moment. We look down, we see, stop, continue to page 2. They're very clear, right? The white part is supposed to be for the person at the passport office to fill out. And then here's the second page. We got a bunch of tan space. And then the bottom, please do not write about this below this line for issuing office only. And it's in white, right? It's very, very fucking obvious what you're supposed to write down and what you're supposed to fill out and what the passport office is supposed to fill out, right? I mean, it's tan, it's the whole thing, right? Now look at this upper right spot, DOSNFREND.#EXP. Bro, it's obvious. You and I are supposed to fill this out. And what's funny is on this digital document, you can't click this shit. But it's in the goddamn fucking tan zone. We're obviously supposed to fill it out. So you think to yourself, well, what is this? What is this? I've never noticed this. You know what I mean? I didn't even notice this in the first fucking course, right? 22 CFR 51.3, types of passports. Service, official, diplomatic. They were talking about no fee regular up top of the passport. D for diplomatic, O for official, S for service, NFR for no fee regular. They're asking you, what kind of special passport would you like? Now, if we go to 8 Foreign Affairs Manual, FAM 505.2, this is, as you can see here, unclassified, right? This is the endorsement codes, END dot, right? We're going to go down here to list of current endorsements. We got the whole goddamn list right here. D means diplomatic. Card means passport card. O means official. N means no fee regular. R means regular. S means service. And then we scroll down and it has all these different codes. These are endorsement codes, right? So if you look at the DS11, you have these D, O, S, NFR, and then END dot #. They're asking you, what endorsement code do you want? Shit's fucking crazy, bro. I don't know what EXP is, but for the END dot, they're asking you, what endorsement code would you like, right? So this is your window shopping, bro. You can go down here. Look at 09. This is the one that GMC Lovett always recommends. 09. Now it says here, what types of passport does the 09 endorsement apply to? It applies to all of them, which is good to know. 09 is the bearer is a United States national and not a United States citizen. And it gives you a little background on where this even came from. You can read it here, right? 11's my favorite. It's for diplomatic only, right? The bearer is an ambassador at large for title, right? And like I said before, the definition of a nation, look at the example here, ambassador at large for global women's issues. Is global women's issues a physical location or territory? No, it's not. It's a nation. Nations, United Nations is a nation. So you could be the bearer as ambassador at large for United Nations. This has nothing to do with territory or location, like I said before, right? So you don't qualify for an NFR probably because that would be like a military personnel. So you could even leave all these blank, right? But let's say you're going to do a regular passport, which is what you're doing right here. And then END number, you're going to put 09 because you want to be a national but not citizen of the United States. I know tons of people who do that and they don't comply. But the thing is, if you don't ask for it, how can you complain about it later? So I say if you're hard up and you've got a hard fucking crazy dick and you're ready to just fuck everything that moves and you've got money and you're bored, put a D here, check box the D box. Put endorsement code number 11. When they issue you just a normal ass passport, you sue the flying fuck out of the Department of State. Motherfucker, I asked you put on here that I can have a diplomatic passport. If I can't have it, don't fucking put it on here. Endorsement code number 11. I'm an ambassador at large for whatever. Golden Retrievers International. We work for the international care and love of dogs that are of the golden retriever breed.
If you think that all is lost, that every dream has faded, that the last light of hope is gone, think again. It's there within you, something that can never die.
You can live again.
The power,
Live again.
rise, to create, to live again.
You can live again. You can live again. You can stand on your own 2 feet. You can rise up from any defeat. You can live.
Because nothing is more powerful than you.
Live again. Live again. Live again.
Or pit bulls or whatever. You could do whatever you want. I am a ambassador at large for Pit Bulls International. I love me some pit bulls. Most apartment complexes won't take them. Fuck that. I am fighting for the pit bulls. You do D, endorsement code number 11. I am an ambassador at large for Pit Bulls International, and I swear to God, I'm a fucking pit bull. You try to stop me, I will rip through you like you are a 4-year-old child. I'm joking. It's some of the memes online where the pit bull versus child, and it's got the. Anyways, pit bulls are quite nice and quite cute. There are a lot of people out there that like pit bulls. Every once in a while, there'll be one that attacks kids. There's some very funny memes online that I find very humorous where it's like pit bull versus child, and it's like this whole. Anyways, it's kind of fucked up. I have a kind of a fucked up sense of humor, but anyways. I don't care. You can think I'm crazy or weird. I don't give a shit. It doesn't really matter at this point. I've already lost all that. I've lost all credibility. So who cares? You know, I'm living free. I'm not homeless. I'm home free, brother. So diplomatic code 11, and then you just smile. You're real kind. Like, yeah, I'm just here to get some passport information, blah, blah. Submit that shit. Oh, no, sir. Did I get it? Where's my diplomatic passport at? Oh, well, sir, you need a sponsor, blah, blah, blah. Just sue the fuck out of the Department of State, bro. Don't even engage in a conversation. I've had many people try to engage in these conversations. They will not talk to you. You just sue the ever-loving fuck out of the Department of State, bro. And you know what? I really don't think the Department of State is bad. I think they're actually one of the better parts of the government. I actually think they're pretty wonderful. It just is what it is, brother. Just is what it is, right? So, I mean, you could even go a step farther. Like they're going to force you to be the fucking ens legis here. So, what if I, instead of putting my name, what if I did fucking all caps? I don't know. I'm going to give you guys all the data here, man. You guys can do whatever you want, right? So my date of birth is January 28th, 1986. They're not going to give me a fucking passport for me as the man. I already know that. They're going to plug me in automatically. Fuck it then. I'll put the goddamn ens legis birth date, which is fucking February 14th. I didn't do this, by the way. I should have done this, but I didn't know. 1986. Fuck it. They say it doesn't match the fucking original birth certificate and blah, blah, blah. Do another one and put the other one or so. I don't know. I'm giving you guys all sorts of craziness on this one because I want to see more people start to actually fucking, do something with this, right? Place of birth. If $300 is like an insane amount of money to you, just by the way, I wouldn't put an endorsement code in here, and I would put your normal birthday here, and I would just write your name however. If $300 ain't shit for you and you're like in it to win it, I would possibly start going in the direction of attaching crazy shit and doing crazy shit. Okay? Just to be clear. So, I was off the camera for a minute. I don't know what happened there, but we're going to go back into it. So, so we've got the all caps name here, and then we've got the date of birth here, like I was saying. And then place of birth, you know, I don't know. For me, it'd be, you know, you can put whatever you want here if you want to get crazy, and if you want to get crazy, you can put stuff there. They're not going to, as far as I know, they're not going to let you skirt off not putting your social. I don't know of any way around it. So unless you want to sue the fuck out of them, right? Put your email here. Put your contact info here. You guys have already learned the mailing address. Is not your domicile address. It's not the nationality address. Nationality address is down here on the second page. Okay, we're going to get into that in a second. So mailing address for me would be P.O. Box 1962, Glendale, California 91209. Country. I mean, no, it's fine. It's fine. List other names you've used. Okay, fine. Second page. Just like you'll see in the Copper Moonshine Still stuff. I don't know what's happening here. It looks like my camera keeps kicking me out. I don't know what's happening. Trying not to make it happen, but having some troubles here. Let's see here. Name of applicant. That's going to be you. Last, first, middle. Parent information. Mother, father. Now, U.S. citizen is going to be no. That's going to be the key aspect, right? You always, U.S. citizen is always no, right? Place of birth. You ever been married? And then if you were married, you say yes. You type all this in. U.S. citizen? No. According to Copper Moonshine Still, is the most important thing of all is to always make sure that you say no every time there's any question of U.S. citizenship, right? Height, hair color, eye color, blah, blah, blah. Permanent address, you can put rule-free delivery. And you can look up what that means if you want. You can put the city, I suppose, if you want. You know, you could put like Pickle Taria, and then zip code is going to be 5 zeros, right? This is where are you naturalized into. You can also do something like 123 Purple Monkey Lane. This is probably how I'd do it if I were to do a new one, you know, something like this. Emergency contact, you're going to put all that in here. And then you're going to turn in your old passport, which, by the way, your old passport can be used as identification. If you have an old passport, you can use that old passport as identification, right? If you're going to use a birth certificate, don't use the short form. Use only the long form birth certificate. Okay, it's kind of dark. Shit, it's getting kind of dark out. Turn that up just a little bit. The DS10. We'll go over the DS10. When you look at the classic videos or the classic pictures of the passport. and you start looking at all those old passports, right? You're going to look at the DS-10 form, right? We're going to show you here. The DS-10 form is the birth affidavit form. You want to read all this shit, the DS-10. And then you can see here, it looks very similar to what you see like 100 years ago on the passport. I would almost go so far as, especially if you're going to start using that right-hand side, the outside of the United States, you should be using these, the DS-10 passport, the birth affidavit. This is all people used back in the day, like 100 years ago. They just said, yeah, this guy was born on this date, and I attested the fact that it's true, and they signed it, and that was it. That was the birth certificate. Then it became this dark horse shit. So I would recommend using this DS-10. Just read through it. I'm not going to go through all this right now. But just read through it, and you can fill out a DS-10 rather than getting involved in a birth certificate. Try to send this in. Again, I'm just giving you options. I know a lot of people want to go farther than I've ever taught before. So I'm trying to give those people who want to go even farther, who want to advance this dialogue and this conversation even farther than it's ever been advanced before. You go through this DS-10, fill all this out, send all this in. You can pretty much follow the same, stuff that I've been covering in this whole thing, right? So, I would do the DS-10, follow the instructions, read the instructions, right? And going to the post office versus the main passport office. If you go to the main passport office, you can buy an international flight and then book an appointment to go into the passport office and say, I have an international flight. Get the passport like same day, leave, and then you can cancel your flight internationally. If you want to do that, you can do that. I just went to the post office. I know some guys are like, don't go to the post office. I just went to the post office. It was fine. So if you don't have any rush, you can just go to the post office. The stars, the 3, 4, 5 stars, I don't think it necessarily has the same value that it did before. If you contact me about birth certificates, please don't. I don't care. I've literally gotten thousands of emails and stuff about birth certificates. I'm so tired of it. I really don't care anymore. Okay. Don't send me anything about birth certificates. I'm so. I know so much. I know every goddamn state in the country. So many different things about every single Pennsylvania. You have to wait 105 years to get a long form birth certificate. They won't give it to you. Sue them. I don't know. Sue the Department of Health and Human Records or whatever it is, the vital records. Sue them. Sue the fuck out of them. Turn it into a fucking PR fiasco. Make their life a living nightmare. I don't know. I don't care. I don't want to hear about birth certificates. It's like the most. I couldn't fucking care less about anything in this world, bro. Okay, if you go down to the passport section, DS-11 passport application section, and they say we can only send you a U.S. passport. I have a little blurb here that you can use. An exact quote. It's just, thank you very much for your letter. I signed the DS-11 under penalty of perjury and paid all my shit. I also notarized under penalty of perjury an explanatory statement with full understanding that I could be facing not one but 2 charges of perjury if the information is proven to be a lie. I stand by the documents as they were filled out. Please process my shit as it was sent in, right? Another one that I've seen quite a bit of is name was printed rather than in cursive. They're like, you can't print your name, you have to sign it, even though that the word signature includes any mark that could be anything. It's kind of a weird thing. We've had a lot of that. So when you sign your name, I recommend that you just do it in cursive. Otherwise, they may send it back to you. I don't know what else to tell you about that. There's no other way around that. A signature, they don't understand the definition of the word signature. Okay. If you don't put a social, they're going to send you a little letter thing, and it's going to say either put your social here or sign here, stating that you've never been issued one or you've never gotten one. The very few people that I've seen sign that bottom one, they don't get a passport, and it gets denied. So I hate to tell you. If you want to go hard as fuck and you don't want a social attached with it at all, and you just want to go absolutely apeshit ballistic, you're going to have to go full Rambo, full litigation all the way, bro. You're going to need to go certificate of naturalization, litigation, fire, brimstone, all the way. So if you want to do that, go for it. I'm a big supporter of something like that. We'll clarify a lot of information there. And keep me informed on something like that if you start doing something like that. Okay, that's it, guys. That's it on this video. I know the camera wasn't on at some points. I'm going to double check it and make sure it's all good. And cool. I'll see you guys at video number 8.